Make today iconic.
What is up, guys? It's Upcome Sports here with the Miami Heat Super Realistic Rebuild, part 1 of this series. Here are the objectives for the Heat, and I'm going to get into the details of what we're going to do, but here are the settings that I'm going to be using for this and more rebuilds, but these are updated from the past few rebuilds. A couple of you guys suggested that I lower the trade frequency because a lot of unusual trades are being made, so I did that. I went ahead and lowered it. I lowered the injuries a little bit as well because there was a lot of really dumb injuries happening, and yeah, obviously Hall of Fame and simulator difficulty is the same. So here is the roster. We are in start today mode, so the Heat are 22-22 currently, and Hassan Whiteside is having a pretty good season, 2.4 blocks a game. He does have 1 year left and a player option. Josh Richardson having a career year for the Heat, averaging 18 points per game, and he's also a really good defender. So Dwayne Wade is going to retire after this season. Bam Adebayo is a nice young piece that we will bring back. But Justise Winslow is the real revelation here. He has been playing point guard for the Heat, and he's not doing bad at all. But the Heat really have a lot of bad contracts, so we're going to see what we're going to do with that. But another feature that I do with these rebuilds is put storylines on the draft, which, if you guys don't know what this is, basically in the draft, it allows for draft busts and sleepers. So RJ Barrett could turn out to be a bust and really bad, or Shamori Pond or someone in the second round could be a star. So another pretty cool feature 2K added in this game is player mentorship, and basically what this is, if you guys haven't used it, is young players can be mentored by older, more experienced players in their badges. So Bam is going to be mentored by Hassan, and a bunch of other guys can be mentored as well. But here is the rotation. Justise Winslow, we did move him to point guard just like they have in real life, but Dragic is injured, so I don't know what's going to happen with that once he is back. I don't know if we're going to keep him off the bench or if he's going to start and Winslow's going to go back to small forward or shooting guard. I don't know. We'll see how he's playing. So big decision time here, and Justise Winslow has been playing actually pretty good for us. I like his playmaking at the point guard. He's also been scoring really nice, and he's a great defender at the point guard position. So I don't think we're going to move him from the starting position. And Dragic is back, so we are going to have him off the bench. He is a little bit injured anyways, so at the trade deadline, we're going to check out how we're doing. And we're actually 24-28, so we're doing a little bit worse than we were. When we started, we were at 500, so we are in the playoff race, but hopefully we can climb up. So for this season, Giannis is going to win the MVP for the Bucks, and Rookie of the Year was Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, Defensive Player, and Josh Richardson getting the Most Improved Player, averaging 18 points and 4 assists, also playing some good defense out there, so well deserved. And I doubt we had anyone on an All-NBA team. Maybe Hassan Whiteside on a defensive team, but it looks like he did not make it. And checking out the standings, we did not make the playoffs. We were pretty close, but we did finish as the 10th seed, so we will have a lottery pick, which is not too bad because we're not really in a position to compete in the playoffs either way. So we might start a rebuild. And checking out the stats, Winslow actually kept up his numbers, so we might test him out there again at the point guard for next season, but I don't know if Whiteside is going to accept his player option. So in these finals, it is going to be Warriors-Raptors as usual. So we'll see who takes it this time. 2-2 series, 3-2, and the Warriors take it all. Curry is the finals MVP. And here in the draft lottery, we have the 8th projected pick in the draft. So we'll see if we stay there. We probably will. And we do have the 8th pick in the draft, so we can definitely do something with that. With the 8th overall pick in the draft, we're going to take DeAndre Hunter out of Virginia. He's 6'7", a small forward, and he's a really versatile defender. I was thinking about trading down, but I really like this player, and he was available. So here, it looks like Hassan Whiteside, Dragic, and Tyler Johnson all accepted their player options. So we're going to have to deal with them, and we might even trade Whiteside and Dragic, or maybe one of them, but we will bring back Derrick Jones Jr. as well. So we are going to be trading Hassan Whiteside here to the Hornets, and they did re-sign Kemba Walker, so this definitely makes sense. But Whiteside definitely still in his prime, and a very good defender. Not really too much of an offensive weapon, but we're getting back Batum from the Hornets, who's really not doing anything at all for them. So it really is just an upgrade for the Hornets. Plus, they throw in a first-round pick, but at this point, Kemba needs help, or he's just going to leave again, because they haven't really done anything to help out Kemba Walker, and this definitely will help him out. So here is our team after that trade. And really, that trade also helps us out because now we can start Bam Adebayo and start to develop him even more into the starter. And at this point, we'll lose more games. Whiteside was definitely going to help us win games. So at this point, I wouldn't say we're tanking, but we're not going to make the playoffs, I don't think. And we're still going to start Winslow at point guard. And Dragic, I don't think we'll trade him. We'll just let him walk in free agency. But we will send Duncan Robinson to the G League, and we'll keep the coach the same. So here at the trade deadline, we are 24-28, exactly the same record as last season at the trade deadline. So I did not expect this. I expected it to be a little bit worse, but maybe we can get into the playoffs, which I wouldn't be totally opposed to. So in this season, Stephen Curry is going to win the MVP, averaging 38 points per game. Just insane. Zion goes to the Mavericks, Rookie of the Year, and Mike Malone, Coach of the Year. But we'll check out if anyone made an All-NBA team, which I doubt. And no one making a team. No one on the rookie. Actually, DeAndre Hunter does make the rookie team. We did select him 8th overall. I did forget about that, but he had a pretty nice season. And checking out the standings, we did not make the playoffs. We were the 12th seed this time, so we'll have a better pick. And hopefully we can draft a franchise player. But remember, in 2021, we don't have our first-round pick. And checking out, the Hornets actually make the playoffs, so Hassan Whiteside definitely helping them out. But as I said, Josh Richardson improving a little bit. Justise Winslow, definitely some good numbers there. I will take that from Justise. And DeAndre Hunter, we saw his numbers. But as I said, we don't have our 2021 first-round pick. So the Raptors making the finals again. The Warriors did not. The Thunder actually made it as the 8th seed. But we will see who wins, and it looks like the Raptors win. Kyle Lowry, Finals MVP. So in the draft lottery, we have the 6th odds at the number 1 pick. We'll see if we can jump into the top 3, and we do stay at 6, so we'll definitely make a pick there. So instead of making our pick at 6, we are going to trade up with the Knicks, and they selected Kelvin Alexander, the best power forward in the draft. But they don't really need him. They have Porzingis and also Jabari Parker, so they don't need a power forward, even if they move Porzingis to center. So we're going to be giving them the 6th pick and also the 17th pick from the Hornets to trade up and get Kelvin Alexander. And as you guys can see, we definitely need a power forward, so it helps us out. And here is our roster for this season. Josh Richardson is our best player. Justise Winslow is getting better. And we're still a little bit young, but we definitely still have a lot of bad contracts on this team. Maybe next season we will be players in free agency, but we don't have our first-round pick for next season, so losing doesn't really help us out. I think the Sixers have it. So here's the rotation. Hopefully some of our guys improve, and maybe some can even up their trade value, like Dion Waiters, and we can maybe get a first-round pick for him. But coach is the same. So here at the trade deadline, we're going to check out how we're doing. Hopefully not too bad, because obviously we don't have our pick. And we're actually really bad, 19-34 at the deadline. Not what we wanted, but we really don't have a team to actually compete in the playoffs. So I did hop in here to a little scrimmage just to show you guys a little bit of game plan. Just talk about this team moving forward. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter part just because we haven't made the playoffs at all. So what I think we're going to do is we might try to look for some trades to get maybe a late first-round pick in the draft. If not, then it doesn't really matter. We are going to be players in free agency. A lot of our bad contracts are up this season, so we're going to have some money to throw at some probably max contract guys, and hopefully some good pieces are there. Usually in the later free agencies, there's not too many players, but hopefully we can at least go out and get us maybe a power forward maybe even a small forward or a shooting guard. Just someone who can help us out, but right now we're really young and we're just coming out of all of those bad contracts, so that'll definitely be something to look forward to. And obviously the Sixers have our pick, so I don't think we can get it back from them. I don't think it makes sense for them. We'll probably have like the 7th or 8th pick in the draft, so they'll definitely pick there. And I don't know, maybe we can trade Dion Waiters and a future first if we like someone in the draft, but I don't think that's the best decision. If someone wants Dion Waiters and they really need him badly, because he's not having a terrible season, I think he's averaging like double figures off the bench. So as a starter, he could definitely do some damage, and he's still pretty young. Not really young, but still relatively young, and not on a bad contract at all. So we could maybe look for a first-round pick for Dion Waiters. But anyone else, I'm not looking to trade. Like DeAndre Hunter, as you guys can see, he's been knocking down threes in this scrimmage. So he's definitely a knockdown shooter and a pretty good defender. So Justise Winslow, I do like as a playmaker, as you guys can see, getting the assist right there. So in this season, Stephen Curry does win another MVP. That'll be his 3rd. But we do get the Rookie of the Year, Kelvin Alexander. Actually a really good passer. I did not expect that from him. Also a really good defender. So definitely fits our mold for the Miami Heat. And no one making an All-NBA team. No one making a defensive team either. Rookie teams, we saw Kelvin Alexander. But checking out the standings, we were 12th again in the East. So not that bad, but obviously not great. So the Sixers will have probably the 7th or 8th pick in the draft. And checking out the player stats, Justise Winslow, 17 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.6 steals. I will definitely take that from him moving forward as a starter. So we definitely have a point guard locked up, and DeAndre Hunter improving as well. So for the 2nd time in 3 years, the Warriors and the Raptors are just going to keep dominating the league. And we'll see if the Raptors can actually sweep the Warriors. Okay. Can the Heat ever compete in the playoffs again after LeBron? Is Justise Winslow the answer at point guard for this franchise? Watch part 2 to find out. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment on the road to 300 subscribers.